Hey, welcome back to office hours. I know it's tax time because this is the time of year I get lots of messages with requests and advice for finding the perfect CPA or EA. There's actually two types of people that would be great tax preparers: CPAs, certified public accountants. And then also, I do recommend enrolled agents. These are tax professionals that specifically focus on taxation. They don't do the other parts of the CPA exam, but they are very qualified to prepare your taxes. Where do I find one of these people? I recommend that you go to your state society of CPA's website and you noodle around. There should be a place there that's find a CPA is typically what it's called, or it's a directory search for CPAs that are licensed in your state. You'd actually be surprised how many variations there are from state to state. And you do want someone who is licensed in your own state and knows the specific rules and all of the nuances within the state. And it is hard for me to advise, here's a perfect person to do your taxes because there's a lot of states. So I don't want to give you a bad referral, but that's the best place to look. And you'd actually be surprised to hear, while this is when it's top of mind for most people, because you just got your W-2s and your 1099s in the mail and they're all waiting in a box for your tax preparer, it's actually late in the season to find somebody. And the best time to find someone is over the summer. I will set your expectations now. If you are to go out and look for a CPA, it's probably likely that they will put you on an extension. And that simply means they're going to file a form with the IRS to extend your due date until October. You'll still need to have all of your taxes paid, your tax liabilities paid, but they can take their time on filing the return. This is especially good if you are expecting to have a refund and you've paid in all of your quarterly estimated taxes, so that there's no surprises. There may be that slight difference between what you've already paid and what is due. There may be a slight liability that you need to pay through this process, but typically that's how people will handle it if you engage with them at this point of the year. Again, the best time to find a CPA is over the summer because they'll have a lot of time to sit down with you and look at your specific situation. CPAs and EAs are the best professionals to talk to about tax planning and strategy. And that's actually why I would engage with one. It's actually fairly straightforward to input your information into a software tool like TurboTax. And so if you have some W-2s, 1099s, and not a whole lot extra, TurboTax is a fine tool. And then you can, for this year, this tax season, the 2021 tax year, use TurboTax, get everything paid if you have anything due. And then over the summer, with this tax return, you find a CPA that is willing to sit down with you and go through what you've filed in the past. If they find anything that you could have done differently and maybe saved you a little bit of money, then they will actually amend your return from 2021. And they can help you make smart choices for the 2022 tax year, which is excellent. For example, if you have self-employed income, you may be advised to set up some sort of retirement account, like a SEP IRA, so that you can actually deduct that amount from your self-employment income. So that's great. But those are the types of strategies that are tax planning versus tax preparation that a CPA or an EA would be the best person to walk you through. And that sort of stuff takes time. And that at this point in the season, that's going to be pretty hard to come by just based on the workload during tax season. Taxes can be fun, but I am not a tax specialist. I know that there's a network of people here on LinkedIn that would be very happy to advise you further on your specific tax situation. It's probably just not going to be me. All right, so that kind of covers that. My next question came from a student, and she is graduating this year, and she is looking at options related to the 150 credit hour rules for the CPA exam. And typically schools will be very interested in getting you to just continue at your same university to get a master's degree in accounting after undergrad in accounting. So you have a bachelor's of accountancy, and then you go on to get your master's also in either public accountancy or accountancy in general, or some variation. There's some that are accounting and data analytics, which would be kind of an interesting one. Those are the type of master's degrees that are currently available. Or a master's of taxation is another common option. I do think that it's very situational. Not everybody do I recommend going and getting a master's degree in accounting. I chose to do a master's degree in accounting because I actually don't have an accounting undergrad degree. I have a general business undergrad degree, and I took a minor in accounting as an undergrad. So the master's degree was not repetitive. I learned way more about accounting, and I was very prepared for the FAR portion, the financial accounting and reporting portion of the CPA exam as a result of my master's degree. But if you have an accounting undergrad degree, it may be more interesting for you to get individual credit hours in topics that actually interest you. For example, if you're interested in fraud and you can find an interesting legal class related to fraud, and you may down the road be interested in getting certified as a certified fraud examiner, why wouldn't you utilize those credits in something that you're very interested in versus getting a master's degree in accounting with those credit hours? They may be a little bit less expensive and a good use of your time versus just reviewing in order to get the master's degree. There are also a lot of programs specifically designed to help you get from your 120 credit hours out of your bachelor's degree to get to the 150 credit hour requirement for your CPA. I do recommend that when you start exploring schools, here is my number one hack. Remember when you started getting pamphlets from the universities that you were interested in, and it was just overwhelming, the amount of information? I recommend that when you submit your email address, you actually use a plus sign and then you say, for example, 150 after your email. So for me, it would be my name, Megan, plus 150 at, say it's gmail.com. And then when it comes into your email box, you can filter it automatically into a folder. And all of those emails will be grouped so that when you do have time to sit down and explore your options for the 150 credit hours and make a conscious decision about exactly what you want to study, that is my go-to thing. There's a lot of analysis paralysis on where to spend that money. When you got into college, a lot of it had to do with location and physically going. And since a lot of these programs are online, the options are just unlimited on the different credit hours you can enroll in, and it makes it very challenging. If you have other advice on the 150 credit hours or things that you've experienced personally, I'd love to hear them in the comments because I think that'd be really helpful for some of the people that I've chatted with. Well, that ends another office hours. Please keep your questions coming. I have so many that come through. I may not have chance to answer all of them on each individual video, but I'd love to hear them. So thank you again.